Yep, thank you.
What's really important and why we're trying to share this stuff about what we're becoming aware of is to present the opportunity for people to find out about the real universes out of these psych realms, and where we don't have to keep coming back and reincarnate. And so it gets down to, what would a person be saying, presenting to others that the real guides present in their lives, to hear what they say that's the most important to them. There's so many things, it seems like, all this worldly stuff going on that's so distracting, whether it's entertainment or in so many ways, or they have to work jobs to survive, have shelter and food, the way it's all set up. And then most of it's for the benefit of certain few compared to the majority of the humans. Some have so much, it seems like, why they can't share or don't care about the ones that are so needy. And so this cause and effect, you wonder, well, did those people that are starving now or in wars and being shot now, did they cause that to happen? Are they just experiencing the effects from previous lives and have to learn those lessons? But then it seems like, well, the ones that have so much, you'd think that they would be of a heart felt for the needs of others, because they don't need all these things they think they've got to have, and by having so much, they're actually taking away the what's provided in this physical realm for all. They're hoarding it for themselves, or whether you call it selfishness or what. It's almost like anything more than we need or can use, being selfish. We're not caring about the others. We're only caring about ourselves in this physical realm, which seems like that's the way that the masses seem to be thinking, that money is so important and putting out so much effort and time and thought and all these things to get money. And then, of course, sex is a big thing on Earth, too. It's all about sex and money and all these material things. What does it really take? What experiences do the humans have to go through to want to, or maybe to be to the point where they find out that this isn't the way that's best? What makes sense? If there's a lot better, to find a way to get to be in the lot better than it. And even with all the riches of this world, any second, any of them can just be taken in a blink of an eye. So all their efforts were just for some material stuff, and this stuff we call blink or passing dream time. Anyway, by testing this new you song being offered, that's just for each person to find out for themselves. That's the effects. And see what your dream visions and experiences and what you become aware of, what real guides are presenting through certain people on the earth at this time, like Dwayne, Hepner, and Ava, and Claudia, and Val, and Kelsey, and Henry, and Eric, and and there's only so many, it seems like, on Earth that are even aware at all of these causes of the things that are going on the Earth, and that have any idea that there are real universes and a much better experience to be in than this. Does anyone have anything they'd like to talk about or mention?
Yes, this is Dean Val again, and I just about duration of time, it's kind of interesting that I take trips up to Northern California from Southern California every week. It's about, well, if I don't stop, it's a 6-hour drive, but I usually stop for gas and go to the restroom. It takes me about 7 hours. And it used to be a pretty long stretch, but now it's after months of doing it, it's like going to work in the morning. You know, you drive to work a couple miles. It's almost like that. So that I've sort of desensitized myself to the duration aspect of it, where I don't, I guess I don't put any attitudes or ideas or anything like I used to into it. So now it's almost like it's a drive to the grocery store almost. And when other people say, "Oh, you drive all that way just to go to work," it's a long commute. But it's become, I just call it desensitized to it. It's kind of like when you go on vacation. You're on anticipating, going where you're going to the lake, do some boating or something, or hiking. And it kind of takes a long time, but coming back, it always seems to take like shorter time coming back home again, at least for me. So time is relative to a lot of things within ourselves seems to be. And I do have I do find a little bit more, book 3, Dwayne the Great Writer here, in his writings, he says, "This is a part of the eternal reality and also a conscious time awareness, bearing the streams of events, which is a self-extended real space of nothing, containing all things and all beings, a real substance which forms, materializes all that seems non-real, temporary, and finite. You cannot stay in peace or bliss, for there would be no solution to the enigma of the great reality within and without. As it stands, now there seems to be a pair of divided states of the great reality. You will soon learn that this separation is in your awareness, and this truth has immense liberation qualities whereby you are no longer bound to ignorance. This separation is an illusion which can be overcome within your real awareness and being one those times between this life and when you were Goldie." And I think this is talking about, I think it's the mermaid talking to Goldie. This is in his past life as an Indian. Or maybe it's Rebazar, I'm not sure, we'll see. He's talking to Goldie. "Because you have this new mind and body each life, it must be updated and your memory refreshed. You already have all this information and knowledge with you, and you need help getting to it. That is why I am here with you. Everyone has a huge storehouse of experiences from all the lifetimes they have lived, but it is knowing how to get to that knowledge. Otherwise, one is left to just their outer situations and the information they are getting from a one-dimensional arena. Your earthly experience is so minute compared to what we are doing on all the levels of life together, she said as she smiled. So it must be the mermaid here. Are we having fun in other places as well as here? Or is it just all work and no play? I asked with a giggle. Ha ha, of course we are having fun and living an adventure with each other, and almost everywhere. Actually, you never want to rest. You're so adamant about discovering as many viewpoints as you can with the all is. You are constantly going into the most unknown areas of the real universes, along with meeting the great overseers and obtaining all you can from what you perceive. I like watching you as you go about collecting your experiences from as many sources as you can. You are doing what Rebazar is describing to you. That is why you are so intense with what he is saying to you. It seems I have to sometimes pull you out of these time frames, she said as she laughed with me. I do love this. I'm so grateful. It is all so real and exciting at the same time. I love the whole adventure of being the great writer. Anyway, and that reminds me of the Tiger's Fang when Paul goes into the bar scene near the tavern with Rebazar Tars, and those two are fighting, and he says, Rebazar says, let them kill each other. But, you know, the real guides have this ability to take you into different time frames and show you different scenes from your own lifetime or other times in history, and it's really cool, you know. It's a really cool thing to have this opportunity and this kind of awareness that we're not stuck in one time frame. And this physical reality seems so real, you know, to our senses, but we are just so much more in our awareness, and we have access to these other realities, dimensions, planes, levels, time frames. It's an adventure. So.
Yeah, thanks, Val. Again, I was just thinking about how in my life, at times, time disappeared. Like when a person is gambling, like in a casino, they're so concentrated, or I become so concentrated on what I'm doing that time doesn't seem to exist at all. All of a sudden, the night's over. It just disappears. Pay any attention to this thing called time. You're focused on...
And so does your money, too, right? So does your money?
Yeah. Yes. It takes your total mental concentration, I guess, of what you're doing. And so all of a sudden, hours have gone by when you realize, wow, it was that long? Because you didn't even think, you know, it was just, in a way, it would seem like minutes, but it turns into hours. It disappeared because, you know, you just don't notice this thing called time. And also, here's an experience of one time I was drinking beer and driving from here in Oregon down to Reno, Nevada, and I made it all the way. I was drinking these things called, they're Hornets or Mickeys, I guess they're called. And it seemed like I only drank like about 6 of them on the 200-mile trip or so, but maybe it was more. But I was going around a hairpin corner when I got into Reno, and somehow a college professor and I was on the inside corner and he was on the outside, and sideswiped, and I went out my door on my head, and I was instantly not conscious, which was an experience when I woke up in the hospital, I guess from them using alcohol on scrapes on my back from gravel or whatever. I came back to, but what was interesting was between the time that I went out on my head and became unconscious and coming to in the hospital, I had no recollection, absolutely nothing. It was like I didn't exist. It would be like just non-being. There was no consciousness, no awareness, absolutely nothing until I came back conscious again to my physical senses. So that was interesting and makes me very thankful that I, even with all the terrible things that we go through at times in our love lives or our health or on and on, we're still time we almost leave these bodies permanently, that we get to be. And then now we have this opportunity that we're finding out about these real universes and all this psych realm stuff of cause and effect, and which is called karma to lots of people. We've all gone through, it sounds like, so many experiences. We've been kings and we've been paupers and we've been murderers and we've been saints, and it just seems like part of the process to know all of the things that aren't real in this illusion to the real universes, where the things where it is reality, the true reality, being free beings of real light. And what would be the words to show thankfulness for even getting to ever be in the real universes, instead of continuously coming back into this human farming prison planet, reincarnating over and over in cause and effect. Of course, foreverness, that eventually it would make sense that the real guides would find a way to get through to a person, to another being, that there's something better that you might want to try and experience. And I really don't know what else to talk about, other than if anyone was listening and wanted to get a hold of some of the real guidance and real education that's being offered on the earth at this present time, to get a hold of Kelsey Lynn Brown, Lynn with an E, on Facebook or YouTube or Skype, or she can handle connecting you with these books that are a beginning of becoming aware of what it's all about, I guess I could say. Is there anyone else that would like to mention anything about anything? I guess Val will be on Friday evening at 8 p.m. on a Blog Talk Radio presentation this coming Friday. Is it Friday? Yeah.
Yeah, it's at Facebook Live, though.
Oh, Facebook Live, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. And you're on every day at 6, right? Pacific time.
Yeah. Yeah. On Facebook Live, I read some of the New Adventure Is books by Dwayne the Great Rider, 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Saving Time now, every evening. So thanks, everybody, for joining the show today. And unless anybody else has something to say, they will sing New You. And until We meet again. New.
You.